What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Show, where I, Graham G.S. Matthews, break down all the original content you watch on the WWE Network and on Peacock. And today I'm talking the May 21st, 2022 edition of Talking Smack. Jackie Redmond is back. She's been gone for the last 2 weeks, I think, covering the Stanley Cup stuff with the NHL. So she's back alongside Matt Camp. They start off the show by replaying the opening segment as well as the main event that saw the Usos knock off RK Bro to become the new unified, undisputed, whatever they're calling it, WWE Tag Team Champions. The special guest analyst on the show is Jerry Lawler, who says it was a historic victory for the Usos and says that people should have believed Heyman when he said that it wasn't a prediction, but rather a spoiler, that the Usos would win all the gold. Matt Camp reiterates that the Usos are indeed the number one team, kind of throws back that list that WWE put together, I think, on the website, if not on Peacock or the network or whatever it was. Maybe it was on YouTube, I don't remember, but or a special or whatever. They put together a list of like the top 50 or 100 tag teams in WWE history. The Usos were 7 at that time. Camp says at this point, there is no doubt they are number one, which I would still disagree with, but they would be towards the top. They're an amazing team. Lawler also kind of repeats himself and says that Heyman should never be underestimated when he makes predictions/spoilers such as that. We then fast forward to Nakamura versus Zayn, which they replay the ending of, and Nakamura tells Megan Moran backstage that Sami Zayn may not be a representative of the bloodline despite wearing their shirt on TV, but Nakamura has not forgotten what they did to him and his partner Rick Boogs at WrestleMania, and he will catch Roman Reigns sooner rather than later and take his title, which I have no doubt that will not be the case at all, but it's fun to think about, and as I said in my SmackDown audio review from Saturday, but Nakamura has done absolutely nothing of note lately, and he's been booked so poorly that I'm not even sure I want to see that as a pay-per-view match anymore, which they probably won't. It sounds like they're doing Riddle at Money in the Bank, Orton at SummerSlam, and Drew at Clash of the Castle, but as a SmackDown main event one of these days, I don't see why not. Matt Camp says, hey, listen, if Nakamura wants that title, he wants Roman Reigns, the time might be now that they have all the championships. They then replay Raquel Rodriguez versus Shotzi. That saw Raquel make short work of Shotzi and win her and beat her in a matter of minutes. Matt Camp says that Rodriguez can hold gold. She has the potential to do that. She was the NXT Women's Champion in NXT and a two-time NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, having won the Dusty Classic as well. She dominated Ronda Rousey last week. He says it 3 times over. She dominated Ronda Rousey on SmackDown a week ago. And she looks to continue climbing up that mountain on the SmackDown Women's Division. They then recap Gunther versus Gulak, squashing Gulak again in a matter of minutes. Another notable win for Gunther. I mean, as notable win as you can get over Drew Gulak. But we hear backstage with Megan Moran. It is Ludwig Kaiser and Gunther, who Gunther doesn't talk at all. But what Ludwig Kaiser tells Megan Moran that there is never, ever too far. There's no such thing as going too far when it comes to restoring the sport. And she's referring to when Megan says, oh, did you go too far? She's referring to the fact they attacked Gulak following their match before Ricochet made the save. In fact, he says it's their responsibility to restore honor and prestige to the sport. Gulak proved he is not worthy of stepping on that mat with Gunther, and they tell Ricochet, or rather Kaiser does because he's the one talking, he says to bring it on. So Gunther and Ricochet Intercontinental Championship, sign me up. And give that belt to Gunther yesterday because that belt is not means diddly squat around the waist of Ricochet currently. Matt Camp says that, Gunther has barely lost. You can count his losses in WWE on a single hand. He's only been pinned maybe 4 or 5 times. He's only lost a couple of singles matches. I know 1 to Braun Breaker recently. And then obviously when he lost the NXT UK title to Ilya Dragunov. That might be the only 2 matches he's lost by pinfall one-on-one. I know he was pinned at Survivor Series. He was pinned in the that random tag team match in NXT UK a few years ago. Other than that, he really hasn't been pinned a whole lot. So I'm glad that Matt Camp brought that up and reiterated that the guy's been unbeaten for the most part in his 3-year WWE run. Ricochet could, and I got a good laugh out of this, he said that Ricochet could add his name to that list if he's able to beat Gunther, which he won't, obviously. I would hope not anyway. They then replay Xavier Woods versus Butch that saw Woods pick up the victory again. Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch backstage with Megan Moran, the Brawling Brutes as they're called, they talk about how the New Day is there to remember regardless of who it is next Friday, doesn't stand a chance, and then they'll be going down in a blaze of glory. Butch says, all he says is next Friday night is fight night before walking off. And that was about it. Jerry Lawler says that the Brawling Brutes have a bright future ahead of him. Doesn't worry. It doesn't really matter. He's not worried about the New Day's partner. They will emerge victorious regardless in his opinion. And not only that, but that the Brawling Brutes, could soon be challenging the Usos for the tag team titles if they can keep it up. Matt Camp speculates who the partner could be. Lawler says it should be Booker T because he's a brawler himself, which it obviously won't be. And they hype up next week's 6-man tag team match, which we'll see again, the New Day and a mystery partner take on all of the Brawling Brutes. Matt Camp says his pick would be Drew McIntyre, who is my current leading candidate as well. Seems a little too obvious not to do, although Cesaro and Tyler Breeze should not be counted out because Cesaro and Tyler Breeze have not wrestled at all since leaving WWE at whenever respective time it was. Breeze was fired a year ago. He's only done a few conventions and stuff. He's done all of nothing, and I'm sure he would have gone to Impact or somewhere else if they wanted him, so if he wanted to do that. But I think he might be coming back. If not him, then... it would say, it should be someone that you're worried about. I wouldn't be worried about fucking Tyler Breeze, but Cesaro would make sense considering the history he has with Sheamus, so... Cesaro would be interesting. But that was Talking Smack in a nutshell for May 21st, 2022. Back to the standard stuff now that Jackie Redmond has returned. Fine show. We got to hear from the Brawling Brutes. We heard from Shinsuke Nakamura. We heard from Kaiser and Gunther, although Gunther didn't speak. So fine stuff on this edition of Talking Smack. Thank you guys, as always, for checking out these videos. I appreciate it. Be sure to like the video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. We'll be back soon with more videos here on the channel, very likely as early as tomorrow, for another edition of GSM 4GM Episode 3. So keep an eye out for that. If not sure when that should be up. But anyway, guys, have a great rest of your weekend. I'm Graham GSM Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.